For most of human history, the human body was designed to survive in a world where food was not always available, where energy had to be stored carefully, and where survival depended on the ability to switch between different fuel sources. But today, something has changed. Modern diets flooded with sugar, refined grains, and processed carbohydrates have trapped millions of people in a constant cycle of energy spikes and crashes, weight gain, brain fog, and chronic disease. What many people don't realize is that their body still holds an ancient metabolic power hidden within its biology, a power called ketosis, and unlocking this natural state can transform the way the body burns fuel, protects the brain, and preserves long-term health. Every time you eat carbohydrates like bread, rice, pasta, or sugary snacks, your body breaks those carbohydrates down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream and triggers the release of insulin. Insulin is not a bad hormone. It is essential for survival. But when insulin is constantly elevated because of frequent carbohydrate consumption, it sends a powerful message to your body that fat must be stored, not burned. Scientific studies have repeatedly shown that chronically elevated insulin levels are closely linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even certain forms of cancer. In fact, researchers now recognize insulin resistance as one of the most dangerous metabolic conditions driving modern chronic illness, and it often develops silently for years before symptoms appear. Ketosis flips this entire metabolic script in a way that is both natural and scientifically profound. When carbohydrate intake drops significantly, insulin levels begin to fall. As insulin drops, the body receives permission to unlock its stored fat reserves. The liver begins converting fat into molecules called ketones, which then circulate through the bloodstream as a powerful alternative fuel source. These ketones are not just backup energy. They are a highly efficient, clean-burning fuel that produces less oxidative stress compared to glucose metabolism. Research published in metabolic science journals has shown that ketones generate more energy per unit of oxygen than glucose, meaning the body can produce fuel more efficiently while reducing cellular damage. One of the most extraordinary benefits of ketosis appears in the brain. The human brain consumes nearly 20% of the body's total energy, yet it cannot directly burn fat. It relies either on glucose or ketones. When blood sugar fluctuates rapidly, brain energy becomes unstable, leading to mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and mood swings. But when ketones become the brain's primary fuel, something remarkable happens. Studies using brain imaging have demonstrated that ketones improve mitochondrial function, which is the energy powerhouse inside brain cells. Improved mitochondrial function has been linked to sharper cognitive performance, improved memory, and enhanced mental clarity. This is why many individuals who enter ketosis report experiencing a sudden lifting of brain fog and an unexpected surge in focus and productivity. Ketosis also has a powerful impact on hunger and appetite regulation, which is one of the most surprising changes people experience. Glucose metabolism is known to stimulate hunger cycles because blood sugar rises quickly and then crashes just as fast. These crashes trigger the release of hunger hormones that drive cravings for more carbohydrates and sugar. Ketones, however, interact differently with the body's hormonal system. Research suggests that ketones suppress the hunger hormone ghrelin while supporting satiety hormones like cholecystokinin. This hormonal shift explains why many people in ketosis naturally begin eating less without feeling deprived. They experience true satiety, where the body feels nourished rather than constantly searching for its next sugar fix. Beyond appetite control, ketosis influences inflammation, one of the hidden drivers behind many chronic diseases. Inflammation is often described as the body's internal fire, and while short-term inflammation is essential for healing, chronic inflammation damages tissues, blood vessels, and organs. Studies have shown that ketones possess anti-inflammatory properties by reducing inflammatory signaling molecules such as cytokines. Lower inflammation is associated with improved joint health, better cardiovascular function, and reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Some researchers are even exploring ketogenic therapies for neurological conditions like epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease, highlighting the profound influence ketones can have on brain and nerve function. Another shocking scientific reality is the body's ability to store enormous amounts of energy in the form of fat. The average adult carries tens of thousands of calories stored in fat tissue, yet most people rarely access this energy because insulin remains elevated. When insulin levels remain high, fat stores are essentially locked away, forcing the body to depend on constant carbohydrate intake for fuel. Ketosis acts like a metabolic key, unlocking these stored reserves and allowing the body to burn fat continuously for energy. This steady fuel supply helps eliminate the dramatic energy crashes that plague individuals who rely heavily on glucose metabolism. Ketosis also supports metabolic flexibility, which is the body's ability to switch efficiently between different fuel sources. In modern society, many individuals lose this flexibility due to years of high carbohydrate consumption. When metabolic flexibility is lost, the body struggles to burn fat even when it is available, leading to weight gain and reduced endurance. Scientific evidence shows that individuals who develop metabolic flexibility through ketogenic nutrition often experience improved endurance performance, better energy stability, and enhanced physical resilience. Perhaps one of the most emotionally powerful aspects of ketosis is its potential to restore hope for individuals struggling with metabolic diseases. Type 2 diabetes, once considered a progressive and irreversible condition, has shown significant improvement in patients following ketogenic dietary strategies. Clinical trials have demonstrated that reducing carbohydrate intake can dramatically lower blood sugar levels and reduce dependence on diabetes medications under medical supervision. These findings challenge decades of conventional thinking and offer a new perspective on how nutrition can influence chronic disease management. Ketosis also impacts the body at a cellular level by activating processes related to cellular repair and longevity. Ketones stimulate pathways associated with reduced oxidative stress and improved mitochondrial efficiency. Some research suggests that ketogenic metabolism may activate genes involved in cellular survival and repair mechanisms, potentially contributing to healthy aging. While research continues to evolve, the emerging evidence paints a compelling picture of ketosis as more than just a dietary trend. It is a metabolic state deeply rooted in human evolutionary biology. However, transitioning into ketosis requires patience because the body must relearn how to burn fat efficiently. During the early adaptation phase, individuals may experience fatigue, cravings, or temporary discomfort as glucose metabolism decreases and fat metabolism increases. This adaptation process, often referred to as becoming fat adapted, represents a profound metabolic transformation where the body shifts from sugar dependency to fat independence. Once this transformation occurs, many individuals describe experiencing sustained energy levels that last throughout the day, without relying on frequent meals or sugary snacks. The story of ketosis is not just about weight loss or diet trends. It is about rediscovering a metabolic capability that has existed within the human body for thousands of years. It represents a return to a natural energy system designed to protect the brain, stabilize blood sugar, and preserve survival during times of limited food availability. Modern science is now confirming what human biology has always known, that the body thrives when it learns how to burn fat efficiently. Understanding ketosis means understanding that your body is not broken, not weak, and not destined for chronic fatigue or metabolic disease. Instead, it holds an extraordinary ability to adapt, heal, and optimize energy production when given the right nutritional signals. Unlocking ketosis is not simply about changing what you eat. It is about changing how your body produces energy, protects your brain, regulates hunger, and sustains health in a world where metabolic diseases have become alarmingly common. For decades, millions of people were taught to fear fat, to load their plates with carbohydrates, and to believe that eating less fat was the secret to better health. Grocery store shelves filled with low-fat products, sugary cereals were marketed as heart-healthy, and entire generations grew up believing fat was the enemy. But behind this widespread belief, metabolic diseases were rising at an alarming rate. Obesity rates tripled in many countries, type 2 diabetes surged into a global epidemic, and researchers began asking a terrifying question. What if the advice people followed for years was quietly damaging their metabolism? Emerging scientific evidence now reveals a shocking truth that the foundation of ketogenic nutrition, built on healthy fats, moderate protein, and low carbohydrates, may help restore metabolic balance in ways modern diets often fail to achieve. Carbohydrates are powerful because they are easy for the body to break down into glucose, but their simplicity comes with a hidden cost. When carbohydrates dominate the diet, blood sugar rises rapidly, forcing the pancreas to release insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone designed to push excess glucose into fat cells. Research published in Metabolic Health Studies has shown that repeated spikes in insulin do more than store fat. Chronically elevated insulin gradually makes cells resistant to its effects, leading to insulin resistance, a condition strongly associated with weight gain, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, and type 2 diabetes. Some experts now describe insulin resistance as the silent engine behind many chronic diseases that shorten human lifespan. Reducing carbohydrates in a ketogenic diet disrupts this dangerous metabolic cycle. When carbohydrate intake drops, insulin levels begin to stabilize and fall. Lower insulin allows fat cells to release stored energy instead of trapping it. This metabolic shift encourages the body to burn fat as its primary fuel source. Clinical studies have demonstrated that low-carbohydrate diets can significantly improve blood sugar control, lower triglyceride levels, and increase HDL cholesterol, often referred to as protective cholesterol. These improvements represent more than numbers on a lab report. They reflect deep metabolic healing taking place inside the body. While lowering carbohydrates sets the stage for ketosis, the introduction of healthy fats becomes the fuel that powers this transformation. Healthy fats are not simply calories. They are essential biological building blocks that support hormone production, cell membrane integrity, and brain health. The human brain is composed of nearly 60% fat, yet modern diets often restrict the very nutrients required for optimal neurological function. Research in neuroscience suggests that fatty acids play a crucial role in maintaining communication between brain cells, supporting memory formation, and protecting neurons from degeneration. When individuals increase consumption of natural fats such as avocados, olive oil, fatty fish, butter, and nuts, they provide the brain with the raw materials needed to sustain cognitive performance and emotional stability. One of the most emotionally striking discoveries in nutritional science is the relationship between healthy fats and satiety. Unlike carbohydrates that digest quickly and create hunger cycles, fats slow gastric emptying, allowing food to remain in the stomach longer and promoting a feeling of fullness. Studies have shown that meals rich in healthy fats reduce appetite-stimulating hormones and increase satisfaction after eating. This explains why many people following ketogenic nutrition experience fewer cravings and reduced emotional eating patterns. Instead of feeling trapped in a constant battle against hunger, they often describe a calm, steady relationship with food that feels almost liberating. Protein, the third pillar of ketogenic nutrition, holds its own scientific and emotional importance. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle mass, supporting immune defense, repairing damaged tissues, and producing enzymes that regulate nearly every biochemical reaction in the body. However, ketogenic nutrition emphasizes moderate protein intake rather than excessive consumption. Consuming too much protein can trigger gluconeogenesis, a metabolic process where excess amino acids convert into glucose. This can interrupt ketosis and reintroduce blood sugar fluctuations. Scientific research has shown that moderate protein intake helps preserve lean muscle during fat loss while maintaining stable energy metabolism. Preserving muscle is not just about physical appearance. Muscle tissue plays a critical role in regulating metabolic rate and protecting against age-related muscle loss known as sarcopenia, a condition linked to reduced independence, and increased mortality in older adults. Low carbohydrate, fat-focused nutrition also impacts inflammation, a hidden biological process linked to many chronic illnesses. Chronic inflammation has been associated with arthritis, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, and neurodegenerative conditions. Research indicates that diets high in refined carbohydrates and processed foods increase inflammatory markers in the bloodstream. In contrast, ketogenic nutrition emphasizes anti-inflammatory foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids and monounsaturated fats. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines contain compounds shown to reduce inflammatory signaling pathways, supporting cardiovascular and joint health. This anti-inflammatory effect may explain why some individuals experience reduced joint pain, improved mobility, and better overall vitality after adopting ketogenic eating patterns. Another shocking scientific observation involves cholesterol, one of the most misunderstood markers in modern health discussions. For decades, dietary fat was blamed for raising cholesterol and causing heart disease. However, recent research has revealed a more complex relationship. Studies have shown that ketogenic diets often reduce triglycerides, increase HDL cholesterol, and shift LDL particles toward larger, less harmful forms. While cholesterol management remains individualized and should always involve medical supervision, these findings challenge long-standing nutritional assumptions and highlight the importance of focusing on metabolic health rather than isolating single nutrients as villains. Beyond metabolic and cardiovascular health, the ketogenic balance of fats, proteins, and low carbohydrates influences hormone regulation. Hormones act as chemical messengers controlling mood, sleep, reproductive health, and stress response. Blood sugar instability caused by high carbohydrate diets can disrupt hormone balance, contributing to mood swings, fatigue, and energy crashes. Stable blood sugar levels supported by ketogenic nutrition create a hormonal environment that promotes sustained energy, improved mood stability, and enhanced resilience to stress. Some studies suggest that ketogenic diets may even influence neurotransmitter balance, supporting mental well-being and reducing symptoms of anxiety and depression in certain individuals. The Ketogenic Foundation also teaches a deeper emotional lesson about nourishment and respect for the body's biological design. Modern food culture often encourages convenience over nutrition, leading people to rely on processed foods stripped of essential nutrients. By prioritizing whole, natural fats, high-quality proteins, and nutrient-dense low-carbohydrate vegetables, individuals reconnect with foods that sustain cellular health. This reconnection transforms eating from a routine habit into a conscious act of healing and self-care. Scientific evidence continues to reveal that the ketogenic ratio of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates does more than influence weight. It reshapes metabolic pathways, stabilizes energy production, and supports cellular repair mechanisms. Researchers studying longevity have observed that metabolic states involving ketone production may activate genetic pathways linked to improved mitochondrial efficiency and reduced oxidative damage. These findings suggest that ketogenic nutrition may influence not only how long people live, but how well their bodies function during aging. However, embracing ketogenic nutrition requires education, patience, and consistency. Transitioning from carbohydrate dependence to fat-based metabolism represents a profound metabolic shift. During this adaptation phase, individuals may experience temporary cravings or fatigue as their body adjusts to a new fuel system. This phase represents transformation rather than failure. As the body becomes fat-adapted, many individuals experience steady energy levels, reduced hunger, improved mental clarity, and a renewed sense of metabolic freedom. The science behind ketogenic nutrition continues to evolve, but its core message remains powerful and emotionally resonant. The balance of healthy fats, moderate protein, and low carbohydrates reflects a nutritional strategy aligned with human metabolic biology. It challenges decades of dietary fear and replaces it with evidence-based understanding. More importantly, it offers individuals the possibility of reclaiming control over their energy, hunger, and long-term health. The ketogenic foundation is not about restriction or sacrifice. It is about fueling the body with nutrients that support survival, strength, and vitality. It is about recognizing that food is more than taste or tradition. It is biochemical information that instructs the body how to store energy, how to heal, and how to thrive. In a world overwhelmed by metabolic disease, rediscovering this balance may represent one of the most profound nutritional awakenings of modern science. Every year, countless people begin the ketogenic diet filled with hope, determination, and excitement, believing they are about to transform their health and reclaim control over their body. Yet, within the first few days, many experience sudden exhaustion, headaches, dizziness, muscle cramps, and overwhelming fatigue. They often believe something has gone terribly wrong, that their body is rejecting the diet, or that keto is dangerous. But what most people never realize is that these symptoms are not a sign of failure. They are evidence of one of the most dramatic metabolic transformations the human body can experience. Behind these symptoms lies a powerful scientific truth that hydration, electrolyte balance, and patience are the invisible pillars that determine whether someone succeeds or quits before their body fully adapts. The moment carbohydrate intake drops, the body begins to undergo a hormonal shift that changes fluid balance at a cellular level. Insulin, a hormone deeply connected to carbohydrate consumption, plays a surprising role in controlling how the kidneys retain sodium and water. When carbohydrates are reduced and insulin levels fall, the kidneys release stored sodium and water rapidly. This process is scientifically known as natriuresis, and it can cause the body to lose several pounds of water weight within the first week of starting keto. While many celebrate this rapid weight loss, they often do not realize that along with water, essential electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium are also being flushed out of the body. Electrolytes are not simply minerals. They are microscopic electrical messengers that allow nerves to fire, muscles to contract, and the heart to beat in perfect rhythm. Scientific research has shown that even small imbalances in electrolytes can disrupt nerve signaling and muscular coordination. Sodium helps regulate blood pressure and fluid balance. Potassium supports heart rhythm and muscle contraction, and magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including energy production and nervous system regulation. When these minerals drop suddenly, the body sends warning signals through symptoms like headaches, brain fog, weakness, irregular heartbeat sensations, and painful muscle cramps. These symptoms are often labeled as the keto flu, but in reality, they are the body's desperate call for mineral balance during metabolic transition. The emotional impact of these early symptoms can be overwhelming. Many people interpret fatigue and dizziness as signs their body cannot survive without carbohydrates. But scientific studies reveal a different story. Research shows that during the early phase of carbohydrate restriction, the body is shifting from glucose metabolism to fat metabolism. This transition requires time because the enzymes responsible for fat burning must increase in activity. During this period, the body is temporarily caught between two fuel systems, similar to switching engines mid-flight. The discomfort is not weakness. It is transformation taking place at a biochemical level. Hydration plays an equally critical role in this transformation. Water is often overlooked as a nutrient, yet it is the medium through which every cellular reaction occurs. The human body is composed of nearly 60% water, and even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, reduce physical endurance, and increase stress hormone production. Studies have demonstrated that dehydration as small as 2% of body weight can significantly reduce concentration, memory, and mood stability. When the ketogenic diet triggers rapid water loss, failing to replace fluids can intensify fatigue and delay metabolic adaptation. Drinking sufficient water supports blood circulation, nutrient transport, temperature regulation, and detoxification processes that become especially active during fat metabolism. Potassium deficiency during early keto adaptation can create symptoms that feel deeply alarming. Potassium controls electrical signaling in the heart and muscles. Low potassium levels have been linked to irregular heartbeat sensations, muscle weakness, and severe fatigue. Foods such as avocados, leafy greens, and certain low-carbohydrate vegetables provide potassium naturally while supporting ketosis. Magnesium, another often overlooked electrolyte, plays a crucial role in relaxing muscles and calming the nervous system. Research shows that magnesium deficiency is associated with increased anxiety, poor sleep quality, and muscle cramps, all symptoms commonly reported during early ketogenic transitions.